I'm here with Levi McCoid on the Fast on Flats podcast, and he just finished Judgment Day 2025. Judgment Day is 100 miles in DFW, and it's 10 trails, and I think around between 3 and 500 people around DFW do it, from basically amateurs to wannabe pros. You
Yeah.
just have the mix of everybody. There's a 70-mile option and there's a 100-mile option. That,
Yes.
Levi, did I miss
The
anything else?
hellish. No, yeah. The 70 is the hellish trails, and the 100 is called the insane trails. And the
Yeah.
70 is generally easier trails. Like you're not going to get anything extreme on those. And then the added miles on the 100 is some more difficult section of trails, and maybe another lap somewhere else. So that's how they get the 100. 30 miles over the 70. This year's trails were Big Cedar, Oak Cliff Nature Preserve, Boulder, Windmill Hill, Rowlett Creek Preserve, Pecan Grove Trail, Squabble Creek, Harry Moss, North Shore, and Horseshoe Park Trail. Those were the
So,
trails for the 100.
so if you live anywhere around Dallas Fort Worth within like a few hours, it is definitely worth trying Judgment Day. It's once
Yes.
a year. We do it once a year. Sometimes it gets rained out, but they'll push it a month or two. It's a party, it's a race, it's a challenge, it's everything. We're
Yeah,
trying to
it's
figure
it's
out if you
cool.
should do it with your friends, do it solo. It doesn't matter. You just do it how you want to do it.
Yeah.
And Levi is going to, in this podcast, Levi is going to explain from the beginning of his race to the end. We had a little issue with the phone breaking up a little bit, so I'm going to cut the first 3 minutes, and his story is going to start right now.
Big Cedar, that was super fun trail. Everybody was totally cool. That's another thing about this event, man. Everyone is like super cool. Everybody's in a great mood. Like
Yeah,
the vibe is real. It is cool. And then we went to OCMP. Tons of people there. I feel like we all converged on OCMP like all at once. Um, we did that trail, and I don't know, halfway through, he calls me. He's like, "Dude, I can't breathe." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Do you want me to come get you?" He's like, "No, no, I'm good." I was like, "All right, cool. Just let me know what's up or whatever." And so I start riding, and I think I got to about to the halfway point of that trail. And it was up and down. And this is another thing I'll have to say. All the trails were in excellent condition. I think because of the recent rain we had, when it rained like 5 days before the race or something, six
yeah.
days. Dude, I mean, the trails were not dusty. They were fast. There, whoever the stewards were cleaned up the trails, because even like Big Cedar, Justin, was way cleaner. The trails were more groomed, excuse me, not trees, but branches trimmed back, things like that. So uh, new bridges were repaired. You could tell it was recent. Anyways, I say all that to say the trail conditions were amazing. So I come around the halfway point, and at OCMP, there's like this huge hill climb right kind of by a road, and they were like videoing it. Right before that, there's a dude like bent over his bike in the sun, and it's RJ. I'm like, "Dude, what's wrong?" He's like, "Dude, I can't breathe." I'm like, "Bro, I'm gonna ride you back to the car." He's like, "No, no, I'll just follow you back." I was like, "All right, cool." So we go pedaling away, and right there's a turn off to the trailhead, and then there's that hill, and all I saw was the guy like taking video or picture. So it's steep, dude. So I'm like focused, and I turn around, and RJ,
Mhm.
he's not there. I'm like, what the heck? So I run into him at the end of the trailhead. We get off. He's like, "Dude, this ain't good." I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's go get in the truck and cool off." Ultimately, like he just had some reaction to this thing, and his our buddy Nick picked him up at Boulder when I went to go do Boulder.
Okay.
Um, but I want to backpedal a little bit. I forgot about this. On my second lap at Big Cedar, there's two major downhill sections in that Texas sunset,
Yeah.
right? And on my second descent, first descent and the second lap, because there's two major descents. On the first descent, I'm like bombing, making these turns, and there's this dude on my tail. I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, I can't shake him. And then I make this one really good turn, and I start pedaling,
Mhm.
and I kind of shake him a little bit, and it would come out in the flats in the bottom, and I'm pedaling hard and just feeling good because it was an awesome descent. And Alexi rolls right up next to me, looks over at me, and I and before I realized it was Alexi, I go, "Man, you're a awesome descender, dude." And I look over and it's Alexi. I'm like, "Oh, of course, of course it's you."
Dude,
And
you're lucky you didn't get yelled at though. Get
what
out of the
what
way.
No, like I think he was trying to pressure me, and I think he even goes, "Hey, man, good turn back there." So
Oh wow.
you know when you nail a turn and you're like, "Wow, I can't believe I didn't crash right there." That's kind of how it felt to me.
Yeah.
Like I was like, man, I should have crashed right there, And then Alexi pulls up to me. Well, long story short, dude, he lays on the gas, or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he's just that much faster than me up this hill, and I look down, my heart rate's like 160 something. I'm like, man, I'm feeling it in my legs, and it's
Yeah.
one of the hills I agreed to walk to myself. So I start walking up that and I get to the top and I kind of catch him a little bit. And we talk back and forth, and dude, he just takes off up the hill. Like, I mean,
Holy
just
cow.
so fast. I'm like, and this dude's gonna ride all day. This is crazy. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that happened to Big Cedar. So after uh oh yeah, Boulder. That's when RJ left. Boulder was cool. A lot of people there. I mean, nothing really notable about that trail,
Yeah.
like sticks out to me. Uh, And then after Boulder is when we all converged. And that's kind of where you kind of, what I would say, see where you're at. Like if you recognize anybody you started with, because that's when you have to start the order, right? Is it number five is where you start? Yeah, Rowlett Creek Preserve is where we all kind of converged. And that's when I saw a guy that I saw a big cedar, a big pig racer, a single speeder. I saw him. I was like, all right, cool. I know this guy's fast for a single speeder. I want to kind of see, where he ends up at. Um, and it's kind of cool to see other people that you've seen throughout the day. You're like, oh yeah, I saw that guy at this. So kind of some of that was happening. Me and this one Mexican dude kind of saw each other a bunch. And I did Rowlett Creek. It was I can't really remember anything that stuck out about it. It was just
Yeah, it's
I
just
was feeling,
flat. You-
yeah, exactly, and I felt good. I was using simple cycling nutrition, and by that point, you're like, man, am I feeling right? Am I drinking right? And I was feeling kind of like energized. I was like, okay, I think I could do this today. Because doing it by yourself is a little bit different vibe. You're just driving to each. Like at the beginning of the when I had RJ with me, it's kind of like you're all pumped up and talking about the next trail, and after that, you're just water management, fuel management,
Yeah.
directions. So did Rowlett Creek, nothing big there. Went to Pecan Grove Trail. Oh, while I was at oh, that's right. While I was at Rowlett Creek, James Harold calls or texts me. He's like, "Hey, when you get to Squabble Creek, holler at me. I want to ride with you." I was like, "Oh, heck yeah!"
Yeah.
So I did Pecan Grove Trail. Apparently, it's a new trail. I don't know what it is. It's like a frisbee golf disc course that is a walking trail, and then they've kind of carved some little bit of single track into it, essentially.
Yeah, I had never heard of
Uh,
that one, dude.
it needs some work. It has good bones. You can see where they've brought some dirt in some areas, and they're doing it's kind of like a little whoop section or something.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it was nothing crazy. And then I was kind of never been to Squabble Creek. I knew it was 4 miles, so I was like, okay, 4 miles. It's actually ends up being like I think it was like 5.25. But I was like, James is gonna be there, so I get there and James is like, so what pace you want to ride? I'm like, medium fast, medium. I'm like, I'm starting to feel it a little bit, but my nutrition's on board. My hydration's been great. Um, I'd taken a couple extra element teas up to that point. He's like, all right, cool. So we take off and he just kind of lays it down at about 10 miles an hour the entire time. And it was perfect. That trail is super smooth. There's like one little hill, a little bit of roots in the beginning, and then it's just kind of flowy, similar to North Shore, but maybe even a little less hilly. But it was cool. It was great to ride with somebody again. To kind of like re-energize me, you know?
Yeah.
And and
You're talking
I
about
was tell
James from our group, right? James is like
yes,
Harold or her. I don't know how to pronounce
Harold, yeah,
Harold's. Okay. You know,
yeah.
he was on my nutrition too. He asked for a custom order for JD. I don't know if he used it, but he wanted 2,000 milligrams per hour for
Oh
his
wow,
bags. Yeah, so I made him a special order. But
that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so he went and did the Paris ride that morning, and then came out and rode Squabble Creek. But it's like 2 minutes from his house bike ride. So he rode from his house,
Oh, okay.
met me, and as we start off, dude, he's like, "Yeah, I probably got 75 plus efforts on this course, Levi." And bro, it was so. I even told him this. I go, I didn't have to think at all. I didn't have to look at anything. I just looked at your wheel and
Yeah.
followed you. He picked the smoothest lines, dude. You could tell he'd ridden there a bunch. You know the difference.
Yeah.
And he just, I even yelled at him. I go, dude, you're riding some smooth lines, and he was just going. It was fun, dude. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So finished there, and then I wasn't looking forward to it. I honestly got to say, I wasn't looking forward to Harry Moss Park because of last year and how they had it. The signage last year was horrible. Had to look at the GPS a lot last year. That's one of the trails that I jumped in with one of my friends, and all of us kind of just we got through it, but you almost got lost a couple times, dude. This time they had signs up everywhere, caution
Nice.
tape out. You know where like the homeless people live? They cleared out kind of their stuff, like so there was stuff wasn't on the trail. It was like pushed off to the side of the trail.
Okay.
It was just like you still saw the kind of trash down there, but it was way cleaned up, dude. Um, Obviously it seemed like some good intentions were there, like, hey, let's make this better this year.
Yeah.
And you could totally see it and feel it, dude. It was cool. But I hooked up with two other dudes. So first lap rode by myself, super smooth. The weather really did it a justice over there, made it super clean. Just it's real sticky dirt.
Yeah.
And I hooked up with this Asian dude or Hispanic dude and this white dude, and we were kind of cruising around, and the Hispanic dude's like, "You want to pass?" I go, "Man, whenever you're ready." You guys are hauling butt, dude. I'm cool with this. And it was almost like being in a miniature peloton.
Dude, that's what it's
And
about, man. Just like making friends and riding with people for Judgment Day. And that's why when
for
Alexi or
sure.
somebody was like, I think it was Lexi, he's like, "Hey, let's do a makeup JD." And I'm like, "No." But I didn't explain why I said no, but it's really because you lose that like camaraderie of all the people there, you know. You
But if
can't.
but if a
Yeah.
bunch if a bunch of us do it, you could have camaraderie.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Anyway, that's it. Yeah, no, I get it. I totally see the difference because as the day went on, I got into lesser and like you show up in the parking lot's less full, and then when you leave, it's more full. So I was getting a little bit ahead of the center of the pack, I
Oh, cool.
think, and it was mostly me and 70 milers, and I think that's what these guys I was riding with because the second lap I got in with those guys at Harry Moss, like I was saying, and they were just sending it, dude, and I don't know if I've been there before or something because he also was picking smooth lines and I was just following him. But I ended up dropping a chain, so I had to chase back onto them, and we rode together all the way to the end. And I never got to get their names or say anything to them because you know how tight the quarters are there. You just can't really ride next to each other.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome ride. So I left. Um, uh, Harry Moss feeling good, like, oh, dude, this is. And then I started looking at the clock and I was like, oh, wait, when's it going to get dark? And you start having that kind of freak out moment. But I'm like, okay, I only have North Shore 15 miles left and Horseshoe Park. Um, so I get to North Shore and it's the energy is like vibrant. Like everybody's getting out of the cars, everybody's in a good mood. You can tell everybody's feeling it. The sun's starting to kind of set. You got that evening sun, and dude, I got on there, and my knee from Harry Moss was starting to hurt a little bit. My left knee. I forgot to mention that, but I get on North Shore and I just start laying it down, dude. It was so much fun. Sun was setting. There was tons of 70 milers out there. And it was just a blast, just riding with everybody. And then halfway through my left leg started hurting, so I just kind of did the whole pedal through North Shore, um, with one strong leg and kind of soft pedaling with the other leg, and then my light, I don't know, I guess my battery must not been all the way charged because it went from the high mode, it automatically shifts down to the next mode. I
Right.
was like, oh no. And not having that super bright light when it was dark or getting dark was kind of like sketchy.
You don't have a
Um,
backup light?
Not on. Well, I had my headlamp. I had my headlamp, so I cranked up my headlamp
Okay, okay.
onto high boost mode or whatever. I think that's like 200 lumens or whatever. So that worked out fine. Made it all the way through North Shore, kind of unscathed. I walked the main climb right before the turnaround. I walked that, and I also walked the other two that I normally go up. I walked those because I was like, dude, I didn't want to break my bike or anything. But dude, like 2 miles from the finish line, I'm not kidding, or not finish line, excuse me, 2 miles from the end of North Shore, I hear this. I was like, oh no. And I hop off my bike and I look and there's a huge wet spot on my tire. I was like, okay. So I took a pretty good hit right there, but it sealed. So I was like, okay, let's just ride gingerly, get out here, let that rubber really seal up whatever happened there. And I expected the tire later and I really didn't see anything. And then it was just on to the last one, which was horseshoe. Was it horseshoe? And it was like
Yeah.
5 miles or something.
Hmm.
But that's where I think they dropped the ball. There was no markings at all.
Oh,
You
I know.
just
That's
follow
so
the
confusing. Yeah, every year.
you just follow the horseshoe signs out there,
Yeah.
and like sometimes you'd come to the asphalt crossing and there's two entries. And I actually stopped one time and I was like, hey dude, which entry is it? He goes, oh, it's that one. This is one's for the return, blah 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 blah. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow. And then even the entrance, I had to go ask some dudes in the parking lot, hey, where's the trail entrance? I see the trail sign, but you have to go
Yeah.
down 1,000 meters and make a left. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But anyways, I did that one unscathed, really. Like, and at that point, you're like, wow, dude, the nutrition plan paid off, drinking all that water paid off.
How
I'll tell
hot
you
was
one
it?
thing, I want to say it was 93, 94. I don't know what the
Wow.
heat index. I don't know what the heat index was though. It was pretty humid. Um, the one thing I did do, Justin, and this was kind of pre-planned, I drank about a liter of water on the drive in between trails, but I turned the AC all the way down and I left my wet shirt on. And it with that AC hitting my shirt, dude, it cooled my core temperature down fast. I was drinking cold water. So I get to right before I was about to shiver, and then I turned the dial to 75 degrees. And
Okay.
I'd be normal. And every single time I got out of the car, my shirt was dry pretty much. I brought 3 pairs of gloves and I rotated because after Big Cedar, my hands were like when you're in a bathtub and they get all wrinkly.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm glad I brought extra gloves. And then I brought like 3 shirts because I didn't know if I
I,
was going to switch those out,
I
but
bring
I didn't switch it
socks.
out.
I change out my socks like every 2 or 3 trails.
So because of that reason, I didn't change socks, but I did wear thin cycling socks. Right, I normally will wear super thick wool socks.
Yeah.
Uh, I wore thin socks. I didn't want it holding water.
Oh, dude,
And
I
the
ordered some wool socks because of you, some silk wool socks. I haven't tried them yet though. But keep going, keep going.
Dude's wool's the best. I love wool. Um, yeah. So no, I mean, I finished. It was kind of no frills. You just said, "Hey, man, here's my cell phone. Take a picture of me." It was kind of people were like grilling out and doing
Yeah.
whatever. But I finished at like I think I texted my wife at like 11:15 or 11:17. So I think the whole thing took me like 17 hours, 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. You got your
Um,
top cap?
yeah, I got that purple top cap. Gonna put that on the bike. That's pretty cool. I think that's a cool like little
It's
trophy.
dude, it's kind of heavy. I just keep it like for a trophy. Dude, it's
Yeah,
like
it's too.
15 extra grams, no joke. It's solid.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
you
do
know
that.
me. I did. I'm riding a Santa Cruz tall. My bike's probably 27 pounds.
Well, now it's gonna be
It's heavy.
27 and 25 grams.
That's funny. That's funny. No, but everything went good, man. It seemed like I liked whoever picks the trails and the order and all that. I think it was great. Uh, Big
All right,
Cedar is an awesome trail.
all right. What about some advice? Because like, we're always talking about like all this stuff that we do, but we've been writing for like, I mean, I've been writing for 10 years, and I know you've been writing for a long time. But what about advice for like beginners or people that like have never
Okay.
done Judgment Day?
You know what? I thought about that. I was like, I thought, "Man, are we going to talk about that?" So that's what I would say. Like, if practice what your threshold is for fluid intake and calorie intake. You
Hmm.
know, what's it feel like? Get used to like, what's it feel like right before I know I'm overeating type of feeling, you know? Get used to I made sure I was heat acclimated. That's 100% everybody should make sure of that. Make sure you got the fitness in your legs. You don't want to deal with those fitness cramps, so make sure you're training well. But I think overall is like drink before you have to drink and eat before you have to eat. And whatever that looks like. If you're a jail person, take your jails. If you're a sandwich person, take your sandwiches. But make sure that that's what you've trained with. You know, like,
So I
train like you play, essentially. You know, like I did the. I want to say it probably worked out to 75 grams to 80 grams an hour
yeah,
because was times where I was trying to get the 100. And actually, one time I did 200 grams in an hour just because I was that thirsty.
yeah.
But after that, I had to dial it back for an hour or so to make sure my body could catch up because I can feel that like if I continue down this path, I'm going to get sick,
Right.
regardless of what I'm eating. You know, whether it's gels, whether it's food. My body doesn't agree with this. And then I slack off. I increase my hydration during that time, and then it usually flushes out in about an hour. And that happened once.
And Levi was talking about like during Judgment Day, when you get pretty fatigued, you have to pay attention, and really you just have to pay attention so you don't make any mistakes. There's no zoning out. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
like if you're a gravel racer from a like mental perspective, I feel like it's less mentally taxing on these long mountain bike things, but you're focusing more. The margin for error is hot. You like you can't make. You're gonna really pay for it in this thing, you know. Like, and my hands started going numb. Even my thumb that I shifted with was starting to numb. It's still numb today
dude, you should have put my grips
because
on
of
I
instant
gave you.
fatigue or. Well, I know I should have, but I didn't want to put a new grip on right before, something very long. Anyways, yeah, overall it was fun. I would say that recreationally, it, it, anybody should be able to do it if you pace yourself properly. And that means, don't make your expectations too large. And that's one thing that I stressed to RJ before the race. It's like, hey, dude, I want to finish it, but I want to have fun too. I was like, we're doing it together. If you have a downtime, I want to support you, and then you'll pop back. And then if I have a downtime, unfortunately, you got stung by a bee, and that didn't happen. But riding with somebody, it gave me confidence. I mean, this dude's been on all these trails. I think if you're gonna do a judgment day, your first time, do it with somebody like a friend that you ride with or train with.
Yeah,
But
but
overall, it was
at the same time though, you do need to pick somebody that's similar in speed, because I've seen a lot of people do it with people that are slower, and then the one person quits, and then they both quit. Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's a bummer. It kind of I would say from that perspective, then it's kind of like what are you doing it for, right?
yeah,
Um, if you're doing it like, hey, we're doing this as a team, you can both agree like, we'll see what's gonna. It's similar to any gravel race, Dustin. Like you might start off in the intentions to ride with your buddies, but we all have bad times at different times. Where at Judgment Day, you're riding in the same car, so you have to like help each other out when those bad times start, and have to kind of be committed to that before it even begins.
yeah.
So and it changes your focus altogether because I mean it's a ride, not a race, right?
Well, that's what it's taken me 6 years to figure that out. To be honest, I always thought it was a race, but it is it. I don't even know what to call it anymore, because they say it's a ride, not a race, but I've always treated it as a race. But I am thinking maybe it should actually be a challenge. I don't know. I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's whatever the person wants. You're going to get out of it what you're going to get out of it. Like Austin Whittington did he rode from place to place. Kind of. I think Peter was the first one to try that. Is that correct?
Yeah, from what I know. Yeah. Wait, did Austin finish it? Riding from
Yeah,
place to
Austin.
place?
Yep. But he did
Wow.
the 70 mile. He did the 70 mile course. I believe he beat me too. That's how
Wow.
savage he is. I did the 100 mile. He did the 70 mile, and he beat me.
I wonder what
That
bike he
dude's
was on.
He's on a gravel bike, apparently. That's what somebody said. I can't be sure on that. I just what I heard.
Yeah.
Maybe from a post of his. Yeah, I think he posted about it on the
Dude,
DORBA page.
that's amazing. I had I mean we talked about that on our mountain bike group about doing that. But
Yeah, that was, I mean, tremendous effort.
yeah, that's
Um,
insane.
I think his average miles per hour was like 12 or something. I mean, it's just solid ride. Just he's an awesome rider, period. Totally cool guy too. Like when you see him on the trails, he's just totally cool.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking a
So,
little, the phone broke up, but we were talking a little about tips for beginners and we were talking about
okay.
nutrition and stuff like that. So I've done Judgment Day. I finished it 5 times and I've heard like talking to people on the trail and like friends and stuff, and I've heard people like eating protein and honestly, I've made that mistake a few times where in the beginning before I knew about nutrition and hydration, like I would get Chipotle between stops, dude. And like
Yeah, that's heavy.
but like I didn't know. So like if
Right.
somebody's listening to this and they're like, I've never done Judgment Day before, it's you gotta do some research on fueling properly on the bike. Like don't just listen to us, but like you
Yeah.
definitely need to like look into it because if you don't fuel right, you will not have a good day. It will catch
And
up to you.
honestly, I believe it's practicing, right? Too, like doing the research, but also trying it out.
Yeah.
Like finding what works for you. And we all have the friends that are always having trouble. I mean, it took me a while to find what worked for me. And like for Judgment Day, I think all I took in was the simple cycling nutrition, 1,000 or 100 carbs an hour, 1,000 of the sodium. And then like I said, I added a couple elements here and there in my water in between the drives. Even if I wasn't thirsty on the drives, I tried to drink at least about 750 mLs of water. And then, because I was just trying to stay ahead of the sweat loss. You're sweating so much, like your sweat doesn't even stink. And it's almost like you're just sweating. It's crazy. Um, but I did plan. I had a 200 milligrams of caffeine at 10 a.m. and
Okay.
then I had 200 milligrams when I woke up, and then I took 200 milligrams right before North Shore because I knew I was going to be turning on that headlamp and I wanted to be focused. And that 200 milligrams gives you that focus. It's like that kind of enhancement. You feel less tired. It numbs the pain. My knee was hurting pretty bad, and it helped numb the pain in the knee. But it gives you that focus for those last two trails. And then let's see. For lunch, I had this. It's a meal replacement bar. It's like 400 calories, but it has bunch of carbs, bunch of protein in it, and I just do that because that's what I've always done, and it's never really messed with me.
Yeah.
So that's just through trial and error. That's why I say everybody should trial and error, like whatever they think they're comfortable with. So, like if RJ hears this, he knows that eating a hamburger in the middle of a race probably is a bad idea. From experience, we all make those errors. Uh, and I know
Yeah.
several. I've gotten six. I tried to drink just maple syrup at a race, and I took 2 liters of maple syrup, and I think about a quarter liter in, I puked. So yeah, we all make those errors, and we have to learn from them.
Yeah, I just used to eat nothing. A lot of times I would be like, I would just do all these races for hours and hours and hours and just eating nothing. So, yeah, that was my learning
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean,
But
that's rough. It's hard on the body because that's before you even know what bonking is. That's what Justin. That's what I'll say about Judgment Day. I was waiting. You know how you're waiting to bonk almost, like you're like, okay, when's it gonna hit? Like I was doing the calf cramp test where you flex your calf to see if it's gonna cramp because that's generally like that tells me like, okay, I probably need to take in some more salt or a little bit more fluid. I never had that. I never had a single cramp on a single hill climb. The whole day I was waiting for something bad to happen nutritionally. I knew
Yeah,
I was going to wreck. I knew I was going to wreck. I wrecked like 5 times. I knew that's going to happen because you're tired. But waiting to bonk and never bonking, that's such an awesome feeling. And it's just from practice, right?
yeah,
Just practice your nutrition, and when it goes and nutrition and hydration goes right, dude, things are just easy, dude. It's so weird.
yeah. But I mean, we get the experience from these long distance rides from gravel, so it's like second
Yes.
nature, dude. But I feel bad for the people that because I've been there, I've been that person. The people at Judgment Day, who have no idea what they're doing, but
Oh, I
um,
know, dude. I mean, just that big cedar, Justin. There's people on the side. I'm like, hey, are you okay? And they're like, I'm just cramping up, man. Like probably 5 of them at Big Cedar. That was the second trail I did, so that was early on in the day. As the day went on, no lie, I think it was Boulder or when I can't remember where it was at, but Nick said, did you see the guy laying on his back, kind of like with his legs stiff in the air? I go, yeah, dude, I rode by. I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, man. I'm just kind of waiting for it to wear off. I'm like, you don't look okay. And Nick's like, dude, he looked bad. But you saw that many people just kind of like laid up on their bikes. Just, the heat just kills you, you know?
yeah.
Practice.
They usually release like the finish percentage, but I haven't looked it up yet.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know if they've even released the times. I can't even figure out like where I finished. Well, when I did finish, I go, hey, how many 100 milers have finished? And he said, not that many. I said, like, not that many, like how many? And he goes, I don't know, maybe 10 of you guys. I was
Oh
like, oh,
wow,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. I don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know the validity of that. I don't know how to find that out. But like, I never got passed all day, dude, and I was shocked. I
Yeah,
got this one dude passed once, but I retook him and we never went back and forth anymore. But it was just it felt good. The ride felt good. You're like, oh, the training's paying off. Which I this time I took like 4 days off before it because I was just like, I'm just gonna let my body just come into it fully healed. So,
yeah,
but after it, I mean, it was great. I think next time I like my family to be there at the finish line, kind of celebrate with them, you know?
yeah,
It's always fun.
yeah. We'll finish a little earlier next time. Every year, you just gotta finish a little earlier. I think me and
No,
Alexi
I think
finished at like 6 p.m. one year.
yeah, I think I could have shaved off 2 hours this year.
Yeah,
Like just from like experience like the experience that I had, I could shave off 2 hours because I would know what not to do. Like I got lost driving it twice because and this is dumb of me. I put in and here, this is for beginners. I put in the actual trail like head
yeah.
on on Google instead of putting the address that Dorba posted.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to the trailhead. I was like, what the heck? Then I pulled it out. I put in Dorba's address that they posted for that particular trail, and it was around the corner.
Yeah,
So because I you, I start pulling up, I don't see a single car with a single bike on it. I'm like, oh no, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. And they were around the corner.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's about it. It was fun. I wish you would have been there. I wish I would have got to ride. I think me and Matt from the group that we chat in.
yeah,
Is it Matt Payne?
yeah, yeah. He said he
Yeah,
didn't finish. I guess something happened. He was running with his son.
I think he started at Windmill Hill as well, and I couldn't tell which one he was because I've never met him. I just know him from the text group, so it's kind of hard to know him. But I saw that I think he and I started at the same spot.
Oh, okay.
So and then Alexi tried his the do 170. That's crazy,
Yeah, that
especially in
we
that heat. In
so
that
me and
heat.
Alex we always try and do something a little different or like so like 3 years ago is where we started changing it up. We did 125 and like we made plaques on our bikes that said like we're doing 125. And then after that, so after that we're like let's just get first place. So like 2 years in a row, we me and him finished first before everyone else. And then I guess so this year he wanted to do 100 and the 70 as a challenge.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very difficult. Um,
But, yeah.
if it was cooler, I think it would be doable. Imagine the amount of food you gotta take on to do that.
I mean, I think it's still doable. I think that he needed.
Oh, for sure.
I think he, if I had done it with him, I think we could have easily done it. It's just it's and at some point you need that like like riding it with somebody to keep pushing you. I don't know, but
It's grueling. And then having to drive, that's another thing I'll say. Being in a like riding mode and knowing you're gonna go ride again, but then getting into onto the freeway and sitting in traffic. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I was that's just a flip, right? You go from like moving fast to like I'm in a vehicle that travels fast, but I'm at a dead stop right now. And that it was mostly in Dallas like that. So
yeah.
I lose you.
I think the phone's breaking up a little bit, but we can probably end it here. So
Cool. Yeah.
y- yeah, so yeah, thanks for sharing your recap. I'll probably end the recording here.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so this ended. I'm gonna have to edit this one a bunch. So
Yeah.
in the beginning of the podcast, the first like because I'm driving from I'm back in the city now, but it was probably the first 4 minutes were really choppy. So actually probably gonna delete that whole 4 minutes. But and then just start it as you talking. And then we had that one other choppy spot where I'll just cut out all that. Thanks for listening to the Fast on Flats podcast. I'm Justin Carey, and you heard the interview from Levi McCoid. Use promo code Levi for free shipping and 25% off your orders at simplecyclingnutrition.com.